there were other networking groups going on online at the time, but I thought it just didn't feel like an authentic way for me to connect and communicate. When there was a Pandy going on, I had to figure out how to network when I couldn't network. I was actually networking 3 times a day for a year. Then I ran 13 networking groups a month for a year, almost 2 years. And then I went down to and I say down to 2 to 3 times a week networking. And then 2020 happened. So then I had literally went from all of that hype and all of that networking to nothing, to zero. So people say going from 0 to 60, I went from 60 to 0. And
Wow.
so I had to really figure out, how am I going to do this, and how am I going to still keep up the connections that run my business without being able to go out? So I thought, well, what can I do that's one-to-one networking? Well, that means I'm talking to one person at a time. And there were other networking groups going on online at the time, but I thought it just didn't feel like an authentic way for me to connect and communicate. So I thought, well, podcasting is one-to-one because you're talking to a host, right? Then I thought, wait a minute, it's also one-to-many because you're talking to their whole audience too. So I was really, really excited about that and the prospect of it. And at the time, there were so many podcasts coming on board that were just new, and people were trying to do something different with their time because they had all this time now, and they were hungry for guests. And so I was very happy to kind of be in that sweet spot for that time period.
I mean, that's one heck of a pivot. I'm super impressed with it. I want to get into it. So the Pandy hits. I like how you said that. Pandy. You were used to having networking as a marketing channel for you.
Yep.
And that channel goes away, and you decide, I love the language of man, I used to go one-to-one. Why not go one-to-many? Right? I think that's really, really smart.
Super.